Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by the Breezer Construction Company here on the Christian Internet Sports Network, as we get set to kick things off from Morris, week one of this Wilmington football season. And the Cats on the road for what might be the toughest test of the entire season, and right out of the gate in week one. So, I mean, when you want to go and see what you're all about, this is one way to accomplish that feat.
Oh, well, I tell you what, they've got a formidable task ahead of them. The Morris team is, you said, ranked high in fourth division. So Wilmington is in what, Division II?
Well, the weird thing is, and we'll talk a little bit about this, the whole classification thing in a minute, but technically right now, Morris is in 4A, although we'll see how that all plays out, whether they go 4 or 5. But right now they're in 4. Wilmington is in the polls at 3A, but pretty solidly leaning towards 2A at this moment. But the truth is, I don't think anybody really knows, because everything that happened with the private schools this year, which was the whole, we're going to multiply everything even without the current success factor, and we end up with not really knowing who's going to end up where. So right now it's just kind of like the ultimate chaos. But I think the one thing we do know is that, surprisingly enough, East St. Louis is in 5A, although they might petition up to be in 6 or 7A, and they probably should. Batavia, who is solidly 6A as a public school, has petitioned to play 7A. And you got Morris going from 5 to 4. Wilmington probably dropping from 3 to 2. And Montini went up from 3 to 4. It's just kind of all over the place this year. And we'll figure that out as the year goes along. But in any case, welcome into Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. We are in the middle of senior night, and it's very odd because I'm used to senior night being the last night of the year. Yes. And at Morris, they're doing it on the first night. There was one other school, Tri-Point, that I ran across last 2 years that did their senior night the first night of the year. But that's a new one for me.
I'd like to know the philosophy behind it. Do they honor them the whole year long, or?
I guess it's just, you start the year off that way, and then you're going to just continue it.
Put their pictures up everywhere, and
it's a different way to do it for sure. But they're still going through all of them, by the way. So I know we said 6:45 broadcast time. They've been doing this for a solid, 12, 13 minutes. It's going to approach 15 by the time they're done. That's how many seniors there are. And believe you me, they're only saying student name and parents. That's it. They're not saying what they're doing, where they're going. Like, they're only doing names and parents, and it's taken 15 minutes. That's how many seniors that there are here tonight. So
this is really out of our class for an average night. What a way to start the year. Hey, does it seem possible we're in football weather already? Tonight's beautiful.
Yeah, it's unbelievable tonight. We're talking temperatures in the high 60s by the time we get to kickoff. Beautiful football weather. Of course, Illinois playing tonight, which makes me extremely angry because I can't stand when they play on Friday nights and my season tickets go to waste. I think Friday should be reserved for high school football, but that's just me. But Illinois getting their season off against Western tonight, another beautiful night for them. And across the state, there are a lot of big-time games happening tonight. Matter of fact, I had read somewhere, it was Friday Night Drive, the podcast. They were talking about it quite possibly being the best week one for the IHSA ever. And they might very well be correct in a number of ways. So, in any case, we got a lot to get through here on the pregame show. I know we've been rambling a little bit, but they do have 25 minutes up there on the clock, which is more than we normally have, plus adding in that extra 5 or 10 minutes from having to wait here on senior night. And we've got a little bit of time left to get through. So let's take our first break of the night. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about how this game came to be. And not only that, about some other matchups going on around the area. A little bit later on, we'll dig a little bit deeper into what we can expect tonight from Wilmington and Morris. We'll do all that and more as Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company, rolls on. Back with more after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned. Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling, along with all the extras, like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. Back here at Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company, live from Morris tonight as the Cats on the road to take on Morris in a big Week 1 matchup, and a matchup that was kind of interesting the way this whole thing played out. When you look at scheduling across the IHSA, this is one of the reasons why they started looking at whether or not they were going to go to the, what they call, not quads, but when they were talking about going into districts and trying to do all that because of this exact scenario where people are struggling to get games. And Wilmington had two things happen to them. One, Lyle did not have a football team this year. They only have a JV team. So that leaves the Cats trying to fill that week, which they did fill with Thornton. And by the way, Thornton's like, what, 1,400 students in a high school or something. Yes. But Wilmington did find an opponent there. That left Week 1 open. And Wilmington in the same mess that Morris is in, which is when you have a perennial powerhouse that has been winning, going playoff runs, going to state championships, no one wants to play you, and no one wants to play you in Week 1 for sure. So the Cats are sitting there going, and I was talking with Coach Schreentz about this, and we'll hear it later in the pregame, but they're going, listen, we either have to play 7A or 8A, or we got to play this game. And for the Cats, it's like, I guess we'll play this game.
Which poison you going to take?
So a bunch of people are like, what in the world, why would you schedule it? Well, they don't have a choice. Like, it's quite literally, you have to play what's available to you. And right now, this is what's available to you. So,
can you get a load of how big a team this is?
Yeah. Oh, Morris has got, I think, half the county on their football team. So it'll be interesting tonight. We'll talk why it'll be more interesting here in just a minute. So first and foremost, let's look at some other games going on around the area. Tonight in the Illinois Central 8 Conference, Reed Custer will take on El Paso Gridley. Coal City will go up against Pontiac. Now, Coal City was the team that had been playing Morris in Week 1, and it had not gone well for the Coalers either. They were 0-3 over the last 3 years. They were the ones playing Morris. They are now playing Pontiac tonight, and quite frankly, should get a win there. Piatone makes the road trip to Granite City. Granite City was 0-9 last year, but Piatone on the road there. Mantino and Sandwich in a real good Week 1 matchup. And that will give you an idea of what to expect the next couple of weeks on the Wilmington schedule as well. So Herscher goes up against Canton tonight, and Decatur Eisenhower will get Streeter. That's all the Illinois Central 8 games. In 3A, Byron goes up against Rock Falls. IC Catholic will get St. Mary's South Side out of St. Louis. Belleville Althoff will go up against Alton. Tolono Unity's got Rantoul. Princeton goes up against Newman Central Catholic. St. Joe Ogden will play Prairie Central. Williamsville's got Auburn. Richmond Burton goes up against Marion Central. And Monticello will end up getting IVC. That's in 3A. I think Wilmington will end up in 2A, and we'll go through some of those scores later on as well. There are some interesting matchups around the state tonight. Lions and Joliet Catholic. Lions at 11-1 from last year. Joliet Catholic was 10-4 in the previous campaign. Lincoln Way East gets Maine South tonight in another huge matchup there. Loyola actually will play Maryville out of Indiana. Another really interesting one is Marist and St. Rita. Very good Week 1 matchup there. And you just look across the state, there's a lot of very good, like top-tier matchups for Week 1. And we'll keep an eye on all of them as we kind of go around through our scoreboard later on tonight.
And we do have our scoreboard back again this year.
Yep, scoreboard update brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. A big thank you to them this year for yet again sponsoring each and every scoreboard update throughout the year. Well, we're a little bit late getting this game underway tonight. We still have 22 minutes, believe it or not, until kickoff. I don't think I've ever seen a place warm up for 27 minutes after they come out on the field, but apparently that's...
well, they did the senior stuff, and that was about a half hour, 40 minutes. I don't know.
So, Cats out on the field tonight. We'll talk a little bit about where they stand and where Morris is coming into tonight as well. We'll do that as a Wilmington Wildcats Weekly brought to you by Breezer Construction Company rolls on back after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Mantino, Morris, or Wilmington today. Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business-related in Wilmington.
This is Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company here on the Christian Internet Sports Network. Live tonight from Morris as the Cats and Morris get set to do battle here in Week 1 in a matchup that at the moment is very, very interesting on paper, and the reason for that being Morris coming off a very good campaign a year ago, and coming back with almost their entire roster on a lot of key spots returning. And the Cats have some returners as well, just not to the level that Morris does. And Morris over the last 20, 25 years, kind of like Wilmington, proving to be a formidable foe in a much higher class. Now, the Redskins typically are a 5A school. This year, they're probably going to end up in 4A, but the Cats are going to end up in round 2A, and they're almost, Morris is about exactly twice the size of Wilmington. So just by numbers-wise, it ends up being something.
Yeah, it's going to be a formidable task, isn't it?
It is, although it's going to be interesting tonight just to kind of see where the Cats are at. I mean, I think we all are, no one's living in a delusional universe thinking, you're going to come over here and, walk through Morris. It's for sure an uphill battle. But the fact for the Cats tonight is you get to see yourself against quite possibly the best team you're going to play all year. Unless you get to, some semifinals or state in 2A, you might run up against somebody who's similar. And it gives you a chance to see multiple things from multiple angles on offense and defense that you then can use moving forward. It's a growing thing tonight for the Cats for sure. And it's a situation where Wilmington just comes in going, we need to do what we do and just see where it is after a quarter or two. That's it.
Yeah, they just got to come and do their thing and let the chips fall where they will and see what they can learn about themselves.
Yeah.
Prepare for next week.
That's the big thing tonight is, stepping stones for the rest of the season. And the Cats have a loaded schedule, by the way. They got Sandwich, Mantino, Thornton. Now, Thornton not a good football team necessarily at 0-9 or whatever they were last year, but a much, much bigger school. Coal City is also in there. There's a lot going on in that schedule down the stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough schedule.
And as we'll talk about in a little bit, the Cats are starting off a little bit shorthanded tonight. And, well, not a little bit shorthanded, quite possibly a lot shorthanded. And we'll get to that here as we get past the interview from Coach Reitz as well. Matter of fact, let's do that next. We'll take ourselves another timeout, come back. Our interview with the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Reitz, will be up next as Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company, rolls on here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reitz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Welcome back here on Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company as we kick off a brand new season of Wilmington Wildcats football. And joined here on the pregame show by the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Reitz. And wow, it seemed like we just finished this thing with the playoffs last year. The summer, you were talking, the Catbackers went super fast. I think it went that way for everyone. And now here we are with a week one game at Morris, which
playoff type atmosphere game, and I think in our non-conference schedule, let's get that. Let's be tested like this and see exactly where we're at, and we're going to come out of the game knowing, hey, this is where we got to work on some things, and this is what we're doing well. We're going into the game obviously to go win it, but by the same token too, I think it's a game we're going to be able to build off of, I think, all season long.
And that's not the only wrinkle that ended up in that schedule either. I mean, not finding out until, what was it, May or something like that Lyle wasn't going to have a varsity team on the back end of that. And so you had to fill week one, which was like, what in the world are we going to do with week one? Then you're like, oh, okay, now I got to fill the Lyle week. And you end up with a Thornton team that a bigger school, but football powerhouse-wise might be a little bit different. But you still have another big school that you kind of have to throw in the
freshman games, and we're working to get more right now. So if we can get that number up to 7, we'd be really happy with that. But we are able to have 3 levels of football, which is really good, especially in this day and age of people having trouble with numbers. But overall, as far as where our program is, I'm really happy with where it is right now.
Okay, so now you get Morris and a team that obviously we haven't seen from a playing standpoint.
Right.
But I think most people who've grown up in this area have seen Morris over the years and kind of what they have. But for you guys going over there, I'm assuming we talk about the same key talking points pretty much every week. But I'm assuming that's still the same thing no matter who that opponent is.
Yeah. No, it's they're going to run the ball at us. They got a nice quarterback in Varner, but they have a really good running back in Curran, who's returning, and they have 3 out of the 5 O linemen back, and they're big up front. And defensively, I really like their speed. I think they run around. Again, I haven't seen much of them. I mean, this is the thing of game one. You just don't know about everybody as much quite yet, but they'll be athletic. There's no doubt they put a lot of pressure on us to defend the whole field, whether it be passing or running the football. And then can we run the football? I mean, that's where we're at there. And obviously with having Ketman back, that helps us out. I think at the other running back spot, I think the Couples kid can help us, and also we brought up a sophomore, Hunter Kchuk, and I think he can help us there too. But a lot of good, like every season, John, we got a lot of question marks. I think up front, offensive line wise, going into the season, we felt good about where we were at. We've had a couple injuries. Let's see how those work out. But overall, I think. Like everybody, let's take these first 2 games and see where we're at after those 2 going into conference play, and then we can see where we're at.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you post-game and catch up with them.
You got it. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Apologies for things cutting out a few times there during the interview. We're on the Wi-Fi here at Morris, and it dropped a couple of times, but trying to make sure that we got everything connected and good to go for the rest of this one. But if it does drop, just hang out, because I think it would be a quick turnaround here to get it back. Hopefully that is indeed the case. And also hopefully we go through the rest of tonight and we don't have any more connectivity issues. We're about 7 minutes away from opening kick tonight here between Wilmington and Morris. As we'll take ourselves a timeout, we'll come back and we'll get to more of our pregame show brought to you by Breezer Construction Company in just a moment as we pause for the national anthem. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned. Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling along with all the extras like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk & Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk & Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, or Wilmington today.
Back here at Morris High School as the Cats on the road to kick off the 2025 campaign up against Morris. And, at this point for Wilmington, we mentioned them being a little bit shorthanded tonight. I was talking with Coach Reintz before the game, and I believe, if I have this entirely correct, the Cats will be down 3 starting offensive linemen tonight. And when you're going up against one of the better offensive and defensive lines, not to mention skill players in Morris, being down even one of your offensive linemen could be a problem, but down multiple offensive linemen could prove to be very interesting tonight. Although I will say that the rest of that conversation with Coach Reintz was, listen, over the years, we have seen people that are in that second or third group that get an opportunity and get a chance, and that ends up being their kickstart. I think of Schnittiger a few years ago, who was in that particular position, and there have been others that they've had the opportunity, and they've made the most of it. And right now, tonight, this is your opportunity.
Yep, this is it.
If you want to seize it, this is going to be the game that you have the opportunity to do that.
And I was telling you before on our way over here, Wilmington has this advantage too. They have a system going whereby the kids learn the basic plays and everything from their time they're small all the way up through. So when you get something they have to switch in, they already know what they're doing.
Yeah, and the other interesting piece to tonight is that Coach Reintz is a graduate of Morris High School. And this is the first time since the 1950s that Wilmington has played Morris.
Really?
They have not played them in what I would call modern history, going back to 1975 or so. What would be determined the modern era of high school football, like when it actually really started kicking into high gear? They have not played for 50 years. If you go back to the 50s, though, they did play each other 70 years ago.
You might have a guy named Scooter Thomas who was on some of those Wilmington teams back then.
It could be.
And he could have played in one of the games. Yeah.
It could be. And the Cats go back a ways. Morris goes back a long ways in high school football.
Here comes Morris.
So Morris will take the field, and the Cats will as well. Wilmington will be in their all white tonight. And I mean, when I say all white, including the paw print, white. Paw print no longer purple and on those white helmets.
How about that?
So the Cats changing it up this year, almost completely white. Morris will be in all maroon tonight, which is the standard here at Morris Community High School. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a game at Morris. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago I went to a playoff game here, but we never get to anymore.
Yeah, we used to get Grandpa Griffin used to give us his tickets. We had the 50-yard line. We spent some cold, windy nights out there.
Sure did. I've watched my share of Morris football over the years, just like I have of Wilmington football. And this place has changed a lot. I remember where we are here on the near side used to be the home side.
Yes. And
the far side had I wouldn't say small stands, but much smaller than what it is now.
Pretty small, yeah.
Now the far side is the huge stands. They've got a video board, turf field. All of those things have been put into play here in the last decade or so.
What I like about these two schools, if you want to see Friday night football at its best, you need to go to like Coal City, Wilmington, Morris. They have some great tradition. And they get medal, everything they get medal going on, and a game breaks out. Boy, you can go with your head held high.
All right, so Evan Ostheim will get set to kick it off for the Cats, kicking left to right here tonight from the 40-yard line.
By the way, is it unusual for Wilmington to be kicking off? Even if they win the toss, they always elect to kick. They never like to get the ball.
So Logan Conroy back deep for Morris, back at his own 7-yard line or so. Actually, 3 backs back there. We'll see who they kick it off to here tonight. And we'll get the 2025 campaign underway. If you're going to be anywhere other than Wilmington for a Friday night game, Morris is a pretty good spot.
That's right, it is.
Pretty good.
My favorite place is Wilmington.
A lot of tradition in both of these towns for a long time. Line drive kick is going to bounce into the end zone, and Morris will start up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So a good opening kick from Ostheim, and Morris will come out 1st and 10. We'll get our first look at this Cats defense, anchored in the middle out there by Zach Olin, the 5'11", 240 senior captain. Will try to get the Cats fired up here tonight, but just like the offensive line, the defensive line going to miss 1 or 2 people that play both ways. So Morris out of the shotgun here. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near as well. Brady Varner, 6'1", 176-pound senior, will call the signals tonight for Morris. So Varner out of the shotgun, takes the snap, swings right side, deflected, incomplete. And that'll bring up 2nd down for Morris. Little wide receiver screen to the far side was incomplete.
See, was it quarterback Billy Moore?
It is an incomplete pass, which the Wilmington sideline trying to petition for a fumble, but that was a forward pass. So Varner out of the gun with Caden Curran, the 6', 195-pound senior running back, to his left. Handoff goes up the middle, and Curran's got all kinds of room. He'll go across the 40, 45, and out to the 47-yard line before he is wrapped up. That'll be a gain of 27 yards for Curran. And a Morris first down.
Curran?
Yep, Caden Curran.
What number?
Number 9.
Oh, we don't have him.
So now we have a false start on Morris. That'll back him up. And quite frankly, I thought there was one on the previous play with Bryce Varner on the near side. I thought he started early at his wide receiver spot. But 1st and 15 for Morris from their own 42, working right to left. This is Curran up the middle. He gets wrapped up after a gain of about 4 yards. Set up 2nd down and 11 as the Cats collapse in there. So Curran with 4-yard run. And again, Varner out of the shotgun. One receiver to the far side, one back to the near as well. And this time Varner keeps it up the middle. And on the quarterback keeper, Varner will pick up 4 yards. And it will bring up 3rd down and about 7 for Morris, right at the 50-yard line. So the Cats trying to stiffen up here on this first drive of the game for Morris. Again, one receiver to either side. Varner out of the shotgun. Looks over to the sideline to get the play put in. Curran to his right. The Cats showing 3 down linemen and bringing up an edge rusher as well. Varner swing pass to the far side, caught inside the 45, down near the 41-yard line. That pass caught by number 30, Brady Babington. And that will be a gain of 9 yards and a Morris first down. Varner out of the gun again. Handoff to Curran up the middle, big hole. And Curran will get inside the 35 down to the 32. So a gain of about 9 yards for Curran, and it'll bring up 2nd and 1 for Morris. And up the far sideline again, inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. On the carry goes Curran. That'll be a gain of 16 more yards for Caden Curran, as Morris just chewing down the field here. Now with the shotgun, Varner hands it off left side. That gets stacked up. Curran dropped for no gain. And on the stop for the Cats is Will Wilson. Actually, they'll give him maybe a yard or two. 2nd down and 8, so a gain of 2 for Curran. If Wilson on the stop there. Varner out of the shotgun. One receiver to the far side, one back to the near. The receiver coming across is Varner to the near side. Now the snap, Varner hands it off. Off the right side, that is Mick Smith. Mick Smith is wrapped up by Finn Bryant after a gain of a yard. Good job by Finn coming up, making the stop there. And Smith will pick up 1 yard. 3rd down and 7 for Morris. Ball on the Wilmington 13-yard line. One receiver to either side. Varner again, swing pass to the far side. Caught. That goes nowhere. Cats defense stiffen up. And again, nothing doing on the far side. That's Bryce Varner, number 2, who will pick up 2 more yards. And it will bring up 4th down and 5. And Morris seemingly going to go for it here after a gain of 2 on the pass to Bryce Varner. Boy, Morris, up-tempo offense for sure. Trips receivers to the near side. Bunched formation just off that left end. Varner jots back, fires, caught, and Curran is going to get into the end zone, I believe, inside the 5, and touchdown for Caden Curran. And Morris will lead it 6-0 with 7:55 to go here in the opening quarter, pending the extra point for Morris. Actually, a pretty good job from Wilmington defensively. Gave up a couple of big runs, but inside the 20 did their job until that swing pass off the left side.
Who caught the swing pass?
Caden Curran. So extra point here. And that kick is good from Grant Sparrow. And that makes it a 7-0 lead for Morris. 7:55 to go opening quarter. Take a break. Back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington.
So Morris goes down the field. The Cats made him work for it inside the red zone. But Morris ends up with a touchdown pass from Varner to Curran. And it's a 7-0 lead for Morris. 7:55 to go opening quarter. And it'll be our first look at the Wilmington offense after this opening kick from Grant Sparrow. Sparrow's kick comes down and bounces inside the 20 to the 18. And it'll be taken across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And that'll be it as Jay Neville's on the return for the Cats. And this is our first look at Wilmington offensively here tonight. Be led by Billy Moore, 5'8", 145-pound senior, will call the signals tonight. The wingbacks will be Nate Couples, 5'9", 170-pound senior, along with Ryan Ketman, the 6'3", 185-pound senior. That's your wingbacks tonight. We have a different offensive line because of some injuries. Things have been switched around a little bit here. And Billy Moore will be up under center. Ketman off the left side, cuts it back across the 20, out to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5, and it'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Cats. Good run there for Ryan Ketman to get things underway. Up front for Wilmington, Logan Van Dyne, 6'1", 210-pound senior, joined up there by number 57, who I don't have in my particular program here tonight. And we'll go down that line as we get a chance here, being, like I said, with some different people there that have been practicing during that offseason. Left side, this is Ketman, and Ryan will pick up a yard, and it will bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Cats. Actually, almost 3rd and 5. Also up front for Wilmington, Zach Owen, 5'11", 240-pound senior. Will Wilson up there, 6 foot, 208-pound junior. .635 and counting here in the opening quarter. Cats trying to do something on their first drive of the game. 3rd down and 4 from their own 26-yard line, working left to right. Off the right side, this across the 25. Couples out near the 1st down marker. I don't think he's got it. Well, he might. Couples spun away at the last second before he was wrapped up. All depends on the spot here. And the near side official says he's got it marked. The far side official says no. So it'll be 4th down and what? A foot, maybe, if that? Well, at this point, if you're Wilmington, this is where you're at. I mean, you're going to have to keep track of the football tonight. You're going to have to run clock, and you got to get 1st downs. And And this is it. Fourth down and a yard. This is a big fourth down this early in the game. And we have a timeout to Wilmington. So the Cats will use a timeout here. 5:28 to go opening quarter. Morris leads at 7-0. Take a break. Back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington.
So the Cats will face a fourth down and 1 out of the timeout. We'll see what Wilmington has here. And honestly, 100% on board with this.
Yeah.
Like, in order for you to hang around in this game, you're going to have to do some of this stuff. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, fine. But you got to take some shots. Off the right side, that is a first down. Actually, should have been a false start on the Cats. Is really what it should have been. But Nate Couples will pick up 2 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down. Big thank you to Wildcat Self-Storage for joining us again this year, and sponsoring all of our first downs for the year. Big first down for the Cats. Keep that clock a-moving.
They want to hang on to that ball and run the clock.
There's Nash Rink will check in here. So the Cats will have it 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Again, Morris pretty big in the middle of that defensive line and stacking everybody in the box, and I mean everyone. Off the right side, not a whole lot doing there. See exactly what they give Nate Couples there. It's not much. As Curran and Owen Olson combined on the stop for Morris. So no gain, 2nd down and 10 for the Cats. 4:25 and counting here in this opening quarter. By the way, that Morris defensive line anchored by Timatau La'au, a 6'3", 280-pound defensive lineman right in the middle of that Morris defense.
A little guy, huh?
Yes. Off the left side, Ketman has a hole out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Good run there by Ketman off the left side. And it will bring up 3rd down and 5. By the way, I think it's Colin Van Dyne who's the other offensive lineman tonight. 6 foot, 190-pound junior for the Cats.
He's got a little size to him.
Cats doing what the Cats do, and that's use every second of the play clock and churn up some yardage. They really need 4 or 5 yards here to go for it on 4th down again. 3rd down and a long 5 from the Wilmington 37. Pitch comes off the right side. Couples across the 40, out to the 45-yard line. Curran finally on the stop. But it is a nice gain, a gain of 9 yards for Nate Couples and a Wildcat self-storage first down. So
that was a nice run, good play, good speed getting around the corner.
Yeah, some of the players out for the Cats tonight. Brody Strong, 6'1", 185-pound junior. Jack Cutter, 6 foot, 225-pound senior. And Camden Allen, 5'11", 265-pound junior, all out tonight for the Cats. Off the left side, this is Ketman trying to string it ahead across the 47 to near the 48-yard line. The near side official says the 47, the far side official says the 48, and they put it right in between them. So, I mean, I guess if we're going to do that, that makes sense.
So,
gain of 2 yards.
3, 2.
Yeah, I mean, you can give them 3, why not? 2nd and the long 7. Boy, it's fun having a week 1 matchup, though, that there's something to it.
Yeah.
It just starts the year off in an interesting way. Out of the double wing again. Off the right side, pitch across the 47 to the 49-yard line. That is Couples again. He'll pick up maybe a yard or two, and it'll bring up 3rd down and a long 6. Give him a yard. Well, what do the Cats have on 3rd down and 6 against this Morris defense? Quite frankly, for this drive, not too bad for Wilmington opening up the year. You can hang on to the ball for 6 or 7 minutes every time you have it. We'll take it. So 3rd down and 6 from the Wilmington 49, working left to right. Moore under center, pitches it left side. Ketman trying to get the corner across the 50 down to the 49-yard line. Be a gain of a yard or so. It'll bring up 4th and 5, and the Cats will burn this clock down and more than likely punt the ball away here. Although, who knows? You're in the middle of the field. The problem for Wilmington is you don't have much at 4th and 5. I have not seen Billy Moore throw the football much at all in his career, and maybe that's something that's grown over the summer. I don't know. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. So,
yeah, let's find out right now.
Well, 4th down and 5. The Cats are at least going to look like they're going to take a snap. And a timeout for Morris. What would have been a penalty. So Morris takes a timeout. There was 1 second in the play clock. They for sure did not need to, because that was going to be a delay of game. But Morris uses a timeout. I think Coach Thorson's like, that's not really what I meant. What I meant. He's talking with the official on the far side. In any case, 17 seconds to go here in this opening quarter. Morris leads at 7-0. Wilmington facing a 4th down and 5 from the Morris 49. And it'll be interesting to see what Wilmington does here. It does look like it's still their offense.
Well, they got 5 yards you got to get. 5 yards and a foot.
And it looks like now they will rotate into their punt team. But in all seriousness, that's a pretty good first drive against a stout Morris defense, bigger opponent, an opponent expected to go deep in the playoffs this year. And you get a couple of first downs, get the ball out to midfield, trying to see what you have on the opening night of the season. So,
yeah,
something you can build on. So the Cats will back up into punt formation here. Cooper Holman will get set to punt the ball away. Good snap. Holman's kick is taken at the 15, across the 20, out across the 25 to the 30 and out to the 35 on the return for Mick Smith. So Morris will start there, 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line, working right to left. 2 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. And you kind of get the feeling tonight that if it's 4th and 3 or less, the Cats are going to go for it.
They're going to almost have to.
But 4th and 5 is really stretching it. I mean,
if you had a pretty strong passing game, that's one thing. Wilmington is not known for its passing, although they have had last year a few really good ones.
All right, so Morris will have 1st and 10 from their own 36, working right to left with 2 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Morris already leading at 7-0. 2 backs, 1 to either side of Varner. Takes the snap, handoff to Curran, trying to get right side, and he is stacked up for a loss. Boy, good pursuit back there for the Cats. A loss of 4 on the play. Logan Van Dyne makes the stop for Wilmington. Boy, good job there from Van Dyne getting through. And it'll bring up 2nd and call it 13 as we head to quarter number 2. Morris leads it 7-0 over Wilmington. Back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
So Morris will have it. 2nd and 13. Swing pass left side, incomplete. Pass was intended for Bryce Varner, out about the 37-yard line, thrown a little bit behind him, and it will bring up 3rd down and 13 for Morris. You know, I think for Morris, you go back to the screen pass with Curran again, that little swing pass, and Wilmington's going to have a hard time stopping that. Varner drops back to pass, fires deep down the far sideline, has a receiver. It is caught down inside the 20 to the 10-yard line. They're going to say he's down at the 17-yard line. That pass caught by R.J. Kennedy. We're going to say 48 yards. I'm not exactly sure, but pass comes near side, caught by Bryce Varner. Dropped there by Ketman. Be a gain of about 5 for Bryce Varner. Bring up 2nd down and 5 for Morris. Boy, that was a beautiful pass from Brady Varner. Dropped it on a dime. Pitch comes right side. Nick Smith is wrapped up in the backfield. Boy, that's Van Dyne again getting through and wrapping up Smith. It'll be a loss on the play of a yard or two to bring up 3rd down and 7. So far, the Cats have been pretty good against the run, other than Curran's couple of bigger runs, but the pass has been
they have not been able to defend
a big problem. And part of that is Varner's an experienced quarterback with experienced receivers and an offensive line in front of him, and that's hard to beat. Varner drops back, steps up, fires, intercepted at the 5, and out to the 12-yard line comes the return. Wow. Picked at the goal line by, I think that's Nate Couples, who ended up with the interception. Though there's a flag way after the interception. So whatever this penalty is, it's after the interception is done. So it's unsportsmanlike on Wilmington, but is unsportsmanlike against Morris. And it will be Wilmington football. It's offsetting penalties after the play is over. So Wilmington will still get the football. Interception from Couples at about the 1-yard line. Returned it out to the 12. And what a play from Wilmington's defensive backs. We had just talked. The problem has been the pass defense, but Couples stepped up, picked off the pass, and the Cats keep Morris out of the end zone. Boy, what a defensive play from Nate Couples. 1st and 10 for Wilmington from their own 12, right in the middle of the field, working right to left. Beautiful night here in Morris. Boy, couldn't ask for better football weather. Out of the double wing, Moore under center. They'll pitch it off the left side. Ketman gets around the edge across the 10, 15, out to the 16-yard line. Good gain on 1st down. Cats will face 2nd down and 5 after a gain of 5. As rotating in is Hunter Kchuk. He'll check in for Couples. Hunter, the lone sophomore on this group this season for the Cats. But that's how much faith this Wilmington coaching staff has in him, that rotating him in early in week 1. As Couples will come out and get a drink over here on the sideline. 2nd down and 5 for the Cats. 9:48 to go opening half. Wilmington working right to left from their own 17-yard line. Pitch comes left side. This is Ketman again. Well, it's shoved the pile out near the 20-yard line, and it'll leave Wilmington with 3rd and relatively short here. So a gain of couple. Bring up 3rd down and 3 from the Wilmington 19-yard line. Again, the Cats working right to left. 9:15 to go opening half. And Wilmington doing what they like to do, which is churn clock, get first downs, and even if you don't get in the end zone, take as much time off the clock as you can and keep that a high-powered Morris offense off the field. 3rd down and 3. And Billy Moore going to keep it himself. And that's not going to work. In fact, Billy's going to lose a yard or two. Trying to get the edge at 5'8", 145 pounds. And that did not work. And the Cats will face 4th down and 5 after a loss of 2 on the play.
No sense throwing his weight around. He hasn't got that much to throw.
Nope. Tried to get out there, and I get the call, like trying to catch Morris off guard. Hopefully Billy with his speed can get around the edge. And
yeah,
it's that just didn't work. So the Cats will be forced to punt it away with 8:20 to go here in the opening half. So good snap. Nice high punt. That is caught and then dropped right at the 46-yard line is Conroy for Morris. Boy, good coverage out there by Hunter Kchuk, the aforementioned sophomore of this group. And he will stay out there defensively for the Cats. 8:03 to go in the opening half. Morris has managed to move the football a lot, only has 7 points to show for it to this point of the game, but Morris has managed to churn out some yardage behind that offensive line. Aaron Durbin, 5'9", 245 pounds. We already talked about Leao at 280 up front, 6'4", 280. Handoff goes left side, and that is Bryce Varner on the carry. Varner going to pick up a nice chunk of yards on 1st down. That'll be a gain of 6. Oland on the stop for the Cats. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 4. Aiden Swan up there for Morris, 5'11", 215. And Caden Curran is blasted. Kchuk and Ketman on the stop. A gain of a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2 for Morris. Well, actually 3rd and a yard here for Morris, so they moved it ahead even more, so a gain of almost 3. And again, out of the shotgun is Varner, one receiver to either side. Varner with Curran to his left. Clock running, coming up on 7 minutes to go in the half. Handoff up the middle, it will be enough for the 1st down. So Caden Curran will pick up a gain of 5 and a Morris 1st down to the Wilmington 32-yard line off this near side hash. Morris working left to right, 6:48 to go in the half, and Morris leading at 7-0. 2 receivers to either side. And keeping it up the middle as Varner had a big hole. And Couples ends up with the stop, but not before a good gain on 1st down by Brady Varner. It'll be a gain of 8, 2nd down and 2 for Morris from the Wilmington 25-yard line. Again, 1 receiver to either side. Varner out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Handoff up the middle to Curran. He stopped, but looks like he might pick up the 1st down. Declan Moran on the stop for the Cats. A gain of 3 yards for Curran, and enough for a Morris first down. 6:05 and counting here in the first quarter. So the Cats use every second of the play clock. Morris is the opposite. They're getting plays off in a hurry. Varner drops back to pass, fires right side. That is incomplete. And there is a penalty flag down. They're going to be pass interference on Finn Bryant. Now, Finn would have been fine on his coverage if he just would have turned around and looked for the football.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He was in good position to break up the pass. All he had to do was turn around.
Just turn around and look for the ball. And Finn even asking, like, what am I supposed to do? And Ketman asking too, but it wasn't like a ton of contact. It was just not seeing the ball. So Finn will come out as the Cats go bigger anyway, big as they can be tonight. Big is relative when you talk about the Morris line as opposed to Wilmington. But so 5:49 to go on the half. T formation for Morris here. 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Curran up the middle, and Caden will get down inside the 5 to near the 4-yard line. A gain of 7. Bring up 2nd and 3 for Morris.
Starting to see that big size paying off now.
Handoff left side. Big hole. This should be a touchdown for Morris, and it is. A 4-yard touchdown run off the left side for Keegan Jelsvik. So Jelsvik on the carry, number 41. He'll pick up 4 yards and a touchdown. And Morris will come on for the extra point attempt here as Grant Sparrow will get set to attempt the extra point. And the kick might have been partially tipped, and it hits the upright. So that's no good, and it will stay a 13-0 Morris lead. 5:23 to go on the opening half. Back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
So Morris will get set to kick it off. 5:23 to go in the opening half. Kick left to right. Line drive kick from Sparrow. It will roll down inside the 2 and into the end zone. So that's where it will go. We'll come out to the 20-yard line. That's where Wilmington will start up 1st and 10.
Well, be nice if Wilmington could hang on the ball, run the clock down, and get 1 touchdown.
By the way, Declan Moran, the other tight end in this Wilmington offense as well tonight at 6'3", 190. Yeah, at the very least, this drive in particular, you want to churn out a couple of first downs, use the rest of this first half clock, get something positive going. But so far, considering everything tonight, it hasn't been too bad. 1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 20-yard line. This comes left side. Big hole. Ketman across midfield. Ketman to the 40, to the 30. Ketman is going to go for a touchdown. 80-yard touchdown run for Ryan Ketman. as Ketman scores from 80 yards out, and it makes it a 14-6 game. Now, there were flags very late, and I mean very late. So let's see what penalty this is. The Wilmington coaches are furious, and I mean furious, up here in the press box. And Coach Farrell about ready to lose his mind in the press box.
Oh,
and so is Barry Southall, not happy either. And we'll see what happens here. The touchdown is going to stand no matter what. It is a personal foul on Morris. And the Cats will get set to attempt the extra point here. Whatever it was, I missed it, but Coach Farrell did not.
He must have thought it was something else because he was really hot.
So good snap, good hold. The kick is good as well by Evan Ostheim. And Morris leads it 13-7 with 5:08 to go in the opening half. Cats making some noise. We're back with more Wilmington football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair.
Well, things got interesting in a hurry. Ryan Ketman with an 80-yard touchdown run, tack on an unsportsmanlike personal foul penalty by Morris, which got the entire Wilmington sideline up in arms. And now the Cats will kick it through the end zone. Now, I've seen Chad Farrell get upset before, but that was like new level between him and Barry. So whatever they saw, they did not like.
They were a little bit upset.
1st and 10 for Morris as they lead it 13-7 over Wilmington. 5:08 to go in the opening half. The Cats hanging around and making some noise, and that's what you need to do if you want to be in this game come the fourth quarter. Trips receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. 5 receiver set. I don't think the Cats, they might not see this very much the rest of the year. So out of the shotgun is Brady Varner. Wilmington trying to figure out what to do to match up. Varner drops back, swings it near side, and that's blown up. Bryce Varner loses a bunch of yards as the Cats get through in a hurry. That'll be a loss of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 14.
Who's the receiver, Smith?
Bryce Varner lost 4 yards. Well, they tried to run that wide receiver screen out of a 5-receiver set, and it did not work well. Varner out of the gun. Will hand it off left side. Curran, a decent run on 2nd down. Will get across the 20 to the 21, maybe the 22. So Caden Curran will pick up 8 yards. Actually, Well, they keep moving it back. 7 yards maybe. 3rd down and 9. Boy, if they moved it back that far, well, between 6 and 7. Odd system of spotting the ball there. Varner fires far side, caught out across the 25 to near the 28. And that's going to be just shy of a 1st down. So 4th down and a yard.
Who shot that?
I'm not positive, honestly. We'll have to come back to it. It's a gain of 7 yards. It'll bring up 4th and 1. Out of the T formation for Morris. And Varner going to keep it himself. And if he got it, it wasn't by much. I mean, maybe. So a 1st down for Morris after a gain of a yard. That'll be 1st and 10 for Morris. 3:10 to go in the half.
Who carried the ball?
I'm just going to go with, oh no, it's Varner. It was a quarterback keeper. So Varner out of the shotgun here. 1 receiver to either side. Hands it off up the middle. Declan Moran chopped the running back down. That is Curran on the carry again. Will pick up a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 with 2:38 to go here in the opening half. Again, 1 receiver to either side. Varner out of the shotgun with the back to his left. Morris working left to right here late in the 1st half. Varner takes the snap and will keep it himself and has a huge hole, and he might go. Varner inside the 40. Billy Moore will trip him up down at the 32-yard line. A gain of 36 yards for Varner. And it is a Morris 1st down. 2:08 to go here in the opening half. 1 receiver to either side. Handoff Curran up the middle. He's got a nice gain. Down inside the 25 to the 24. Good run from Curran off that left side. Bring up 2nd down and 3. And now Morris might actually want to think about using a little bit of clock here. As fast as they move the ball down the field. 1 receiver to either side. Varner gonna hand it off to Curran. He's gonna pick up a 1st down. Moran got in there along with Ketman. And be a gain of 6 more. And a Morris 1st down. 1st and 10 from the Wilmington 17. 1 receiver to either side. Handoff Curran up the middle inside the 15 to the 14. Clock will continue to roll. 1:20 and counting. Plenty of time for Morris here after a gain of 3 from Curran. Clock rolling. 1:05 to go in the half. And we have a timeout to Wilmington. Timeout to the Cats. 1:06 to go in the half as Morris leads at 13-7 and driving deep in Wilmington territory again. Back with more Cats football after this.
Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned.
Second down and 6 upcoming here for Morris as they lead at 13-7. 1:06 to go in the half. Boy, if the Cats can keep Morris out of the end zone here, that would be a huge swing of momentum. They were close to holding them on 4th and a yard back at the Morris 29, but could not. They gave up a yard. Varner out of the shotgun, fires deep down the sideline. It is caught for a touchdown. I'm trying to see who it is out there. It's Bryce Varner. Bryce Varner on a 12-yard touchdown reception from Brady Varner. Now we'll make it a 19-7 lead for Morris here with 1:01 to go in the opening half. Good drive from Morris. Their offense really hasn't had much issue tonight at all moving the football, but with the size advantage, that would stand to reason. And we have a timeout to Morris. 1:01 to go in the half. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and change my scoreboard. So be sure to stick around for our halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. We'll take a look at your first half stats. Get a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. And we'll get ready for half number 2 as well. All that and more on the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate here on the Christian Internet Sports Network. All right, so Morris going for 2 here, up 19-7, 1:01 to go in the opening half, and it is a direct snap to Curran, and that's blown up. Well, they put Curran and Smith both back there. They snapped the ball directly to Curran, and that just went sideways in a hurry, and it'll stay 19-7 Morris. Take a break, come back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling, along with all the extras, like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters, too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, or Wilmington today.
Morris leads it 19-7 with 1:01 to go here in the opening half. Kick here from Sparrow comes down to the 15, across the 20, and across the 25 to the 30, and out to the 32 goes the return for Wilmington. I think that's Kchuk again for the Cats. Sophomore making himself be known here in week 1 of this varsity schedule.
Wait a minute. Catch me up with him again.
Kchuk. And that kickoff return. So Wilmington will have it 1st and 10 from their own 32. The Cats more than likely not going to try anything crazy here. I believe Wilmington does get the football to start the second half. I think so, unless my brain is playing tricks on me. Out of the double wing here, the split tight ends way out this time for the Cats. Underneath it comes to the fullback out to the 35-yard line. That is Ryan Schrager out of that fullback spot for the Cats. Bring up 2nd down and 7, 40 seconds and counting here in this first half. You might want to go maybe one shot with Ketman off the edge or something just to see if you happen to break it. And other than that, get to the locker room the way it is now. And I think overall for the Cats, you got to be pretty happy with where things sit. Underneath, Schrager again. On across the 35 to the 38. And the Cats are going to let this thing roll to the half. So Morris will lead it 19-7 going into the break. And welcome into the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net. As we'll come back in just a moment, we'll have your full stats. A look at the IHSA football scoreboard from Odekirk and Rhodes. Get you set for the second half as well. This is the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate and the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILchamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington. Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
Welcome into the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net, also at 815-476-7916. Cats on the road with a really, really tough Week 1 opponent in Morris, and Wilmington holding their own, down 19-7 at the half. The big play for the Cats in the first half was Ryan Ketman's 80-yard touchdown run, Morris and their high-powered offense has been a problem for Wilmington tonight. But for the most part, the Cats really doing what they need to do. And the thing for Wilmington is growth from this week going into the rest of their schedule, because obviously this is not a game that you would typically put on the schedule if you're Wilmington. But you're just at a position where, you got to play who there is. And this is how it goes. All right, so for our first half stats, let's start with Morris. Rushing the football, Brady Varner, 3 carries for 41 yards in that first half. Mick Smith, 2 carries for 0 yards. Caden Curran, 15 carries for 90 yards in that first half. Bryce Varner, 3 rushing attempts for 19 yards. Keegan Jelsvik, 1 4-yard touchdown run. And Brady Babington had a 1-yard run as well. Morris in the first half, 25 rushing attempts, 156 yards, and a touchdown. Through the air, Brady Varner was 6 of 10 for 26 yards, 1 touchdown, and actually 2 touchdowns and an interception. Bryce Varner, 3 receptions for 10 yards and a touchdown. Caden Curran, 1 5-yard touchdown reception. And there was another pass completed for 11 yards as well for Morris and Brady Varner. 6 of 10, 26 yards through the air, 156 on the ground. That is 182 yards of total offense for Morris in the first half. For Wilmington, rushing the football, I'll save you the drama here. There aren't any passing stats, so we'll just go with rushing the football tonight. Billy Moore, 1 rushing attempt for a loss of a couple of yards. Ryan Ketman, 8 rushing attempts for 102 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown, an 80-yard touchdown run. Nate Couples, 5 carries for 15 yards, and Ryan Schrager, 2 rushing attempts for 5 yards. The Cats did not attempt a pass, so rushing the football, Wilmington, 16 rushing attempts for 121 yards. Morris outgained Wilmington 182 to 121 in that first half. And Ketman with the big play that kept Wilmington hanging around.
Yeah, that was an 80-yard run.
And now if you're the Cats, you get the ball to start the second half. If you can get something there and get some points on the board and put a little bit of pressure on Morris, we'll see what happens. But for sure, the Cats need a good drive to start the second half to kind of swing back a little bit of momentum in this game.
I mean, the depth of the Morris team is just really outstanding.
Yeah, well, they're 80 kids or whatever on the varsity team, and, they've got, there's just weapons everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's what I mean. Like, Wilmington, quite frankly, has done a pretty good job tonight, especially shorthanded. The Cats have done a nice job. They've hung around in this game. They've gotten plays, and only down 2 scores.
I'll tell you what, you plug those 3 linemen in, you don't have. That makes change a lot different.
All right, so at the half, Morris leads Wilmington 19-7. We'll take ourselves a timeout. When we come back, we'll have our first full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. We'll do that after this timeout. This is the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned. Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling along with all the extras like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington.
All right, back here on the halftime show, brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net, and also at 815-476-7916. All right, let's get to our first check of the IHSA football scoreboard, brought to you by Otakirk and Rhodes. We'll start in the Illinois Central 8. And let's go to El Paso and Reed Custer. The El Paso Gridley Titans lead Reed Custer 21-14. That game is in the third quarter. Coal City leads Pontiac 20-7 at the half. The Kohlers getting a much more favorable opponent in the first week than they have had the last 3 years, which has been this same Morris team. And so Coal City beating Pontiac 20-7. Peatone blew out Granite City. Now, Granite City did not win a game last year, and they're probably not going to win a lot this year, but Peatone does get a win 48-7. Mantino having no problems with Sandwich tonight. It's 34-14. Mantino leads Sandwich. That's next week's opponent for the Cats. Canton leads Herscher 24-7. Canton last year won one game. And they lead Herscher 24-7. And Streeter leads Decatur Eisenhower 22-14. That game in the second quarter as well. All right, now we're going to go through the top 10 in 3A and the top 10 in 2A, because who knows where Wilmington will end up, but I think they're pretty solidly in 2A this year. They've been on the bubble the last couple of years, but I think the Cats will end up in 2A. But start in 3A. Byron, yet again, has an extremely difficult schedule. They won 63-0 tonight over Rock Falls, a team that won a total of one game last year. So Byron opens up with a toughie in week one. Number 3, IC Catholic leads St. Mary's 27-0. That game in the third quarter. St. Mary's out of St. Louis, by the way. Althoff Catholic leads Alton 14-7. That game in the second quarter. Tolono Unity, no problems with Rantoul. Rantoul, another team which only got one win last year. 48-0. Tolono Unity with the lead there. Newman Central Catholic 14-7 over Princeton. That game at the half. I would say that's an upset, but it's not. Newman Central Catholic is right there with Princeton anyway. St. Joe Ogden 14-7 over Prairie Central. That game at the half. Williamsville blowing out Auburn tonight 42-0. Richmond Burton 35-6 over Marion Central Catholic in the second quarter. And Monticello leads Illinois Valley Central, one of my favorite mascots in the state of Illinois, the IVC Gray Ghosts. 7-6 is the lead for Monticello at the half. Those are the top 10 3A teams. If we go to 2A, which is probably where Wilmington will end up being, number 1, Maroa Forsyth, 27-0 over Athens. It's not Athens, it's Athens in the third quarter. Number 3, Bismarck, Henning, Roseville, Alvin. If they could throw in a few more names. They trail Clifton Central 20-0 in the second quarter. Clifton, big night so far. Number 4, Farmington, 30-22 over Hamilton Warsaw. That's at the half. Number 4, Rockridge, 38-0 over Sherrard. That's in the second quarter. Westville, the number 6 team in 2A, 47-13 over Salt Fork. That game at the half. Also at the half, Seneca leads Chicago Christian. Is that right? 40-0? Yes. Holy smokes! Did Chicago Christian graduate everybody last year or something? Pena 21-19 over Hillsboro. Number 9 Nashville tied with Carlisle 7-7 in the third, and Johnston City a 44-0 lead over Carmi White County. All right, let's go through other games throughout the area. Sandburg 28-0 over Andrew at the half. Aurora Christian leads Marquette 29-22 at the half. Good game there. Hinsdale Central 28-0 over West Aurora in the second quarter. Glenbard North leads Bartlett 31-0 in the second. Glenbard West 21-7 over Batavia. That game in the third quarter. Lincoln Way West 33-7 over Eisenhower. That's also in the third. Bradley Bourbonnais, no problems with Thornton Fractional North tonight. It's 28-0 in the second quarter. Brother Rice 28-7 over Valparaiso. They had to go over Indiana to pick up an opponent there. That game at the half, by the way. Richards 31-27 over Crete Moni. That game also at the half. Wheaton Warrenville South 34-0 over Glenbard South. It's Wheaton North 13-6 over Simeon. That's in the second quarter. At the half, St. Patrick and Yorkville tied at 7. St. Ignatius 3-0 over St. Louis University. That game is at the half. From yesterday, St. Francis beat Kenwood 38-34. Lane Tech leads Shepherd 20-7. That game in the second. Providence leads Wheaton Academy 28-7. That's also at the half. Waukegan 6-0 over Plainfield Central at the half. Plano and Ottawa. Boy, that's an interesting matchup. The Ottawa Pirates lead Plano 14-0. That game in the second quarter. Neuqua Valley leads Wabanzi Valley 14-6 at the half. Oswego 28-0 over Naperville Central in the second quarter. Oakwood 7-0 over Momence. That game in the first quarter. St. Charles North 24-21 Manuka over St. Charles North. That game at the half. St. Rita 7, Marist 0. That's a huge battle tonight in week 1. That game in the first quarter. St. Viator 7-6 over Marian Catholic. That's in the second. In the fourth quarter, is that right? Loyola 2-0 over Maryville? That's a crazy score. Lockport beat Plainfield North 34-0. As that one already in. Lincoln Way East 14-0 over Maine South. Another really, really good week 1 game. Lincoln Way Central 35-0 over St. Charles East. Libertyville 13-7 over Lamont. East Moline, the team that Wilmington could have potentially ended up playing, leading LaSalle Peru 16-15. Kankakee trailing Naz in the second quarter. But that's another huge week 1 game. Naz 12-6 over Kankakee in the second. Oswego East blowing out Joliet West tonight, 41-0. Lions 7, Joliet Catholic 6. Speaking of big first week games, Lions and Joliet Catholic. Wakanda 18, Hinsdale South 13 in the second. Fenwick 20-0 over DePaul. Final from yesterday, Evergreen Park 26-2 over Agricultural Science. Barrington 21-6 over South Elgin, and Mateo Valley 14-0 over Downers Grove South. So, again, one more time through the Illinois Central 8. El Paso Gredley leads Reed Custer 21-14 in the third. Coal City 20-7 over Pontiac at the half. Piatone blew out Granite City 48-7. Mantino 34-14 over Sandwich in the second. Canton leads Herscher 24-7 in the second, and Streeter 22-14 over Decatur Eisenhower also in the second. That is a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. We'll have another full check for you in our postgame show. We'll take one more quick break, come back with kickoff of half number 2 in just a moment. This has been the halftime show brought to you by Pro Real Estate at pro-homes.net and also at 815-476-7916. Back in just a moment.
The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Mantino, Morris, or Wilmington today. Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davy Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles.
So the Cats will get set to return this kickoff, working right to left as Grant Sparrow will get set to kick for Morris. 5'11", 148-pound junior with the kickoff here. Back deep, Ketman will take it at the 2. Comes off across the 15 to the 20, 25, and Ketman stacked up there. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for Wilmington from their own 25-yard line. Big series of downs for the Cats to start half number 2 if they want to hang around in this game. They need a drive right here. Morris has been equal to the task as far as offense tonight. Wilmington has had very little luck stopping them other than the interception that the Cats picked up on their own 1-yard line. Morris has pretty much moved the ball at will.
Yeah, that was Mr. Couples. Picked that one off about the 1-yard line.
Well, the double wing handoff comes right side. That's not going to go anywhere. Good stack-up job there by Morris defensively. That's Kchuk on the carry. Logan Sparrow on the stop for Morris, also joined back there by Leao. Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Cats from their own 25. Again, Wilmington not going to be in any hurry here. Cats going to churn out some clock. On the double wing. Moore under center. In motion, Ketman, handoff up the middle. And Schrager going to pound the ball ahead. Broke a couple of tackles and then gets stacked up across the 30 to around the 32-yard line. As Schrager will pick up 7 yards. And that will leave the Cats with a 3rd down and 3 from their own 32-yard line. Again, really important for Wilmington here to pick up some first downs, keep the clock running, keep Morris and that offense off the field because the Cats have struggled against them defensively tonight. Moore under center. Pitch comes left side. Ketman across the 30, 35. Ketman makes a move across the 40 and out to the 44-yard line before he's finally wrapped up. A gain of 12 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down. Caleb Walton finally made the stop for Morris. 1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 44-yard line off the near side hash. Working right to left. 10 minutes and counting here in quarter number 3. Boy, this could not be 2 different tempos, could it?
No, it couldn't.
The Cats take every second off the clock, and Morris is trying to snap the ball faster and faster and faster. In motion. Ketman will come back. He did not get set. That actually should have been a penalty.
Yeah, it should have been.
And Schrager gets dropped for a loss of a yard. Ketman went in motion, went to get set back on the far side, didn't get set, and they snapped the ball anyway. And, yeah, that didn't go anywhere in a hurry.
That thing was bad all the way around. He was going to that little move to try to draw him off sides, but he didn't get back to his starting position.
So 2nd down and 11 for Wilmington from their own 43. Again off the near side hash, working right to left out of the double wing here. Moore under center. They'll hand it off right side. This will be a gain of a couple. I believe that's Kchuk again. They'll pick up 2 yards, and they'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Well, there's not a lot in the Cats playbook for 3rd and 9 against this Morris defense.
I would say
go back to Mr. Ketman.
Don't look for any down and out passes.
I would go to Ketman and just see what happens. So 3rd down and 9 from the Wilmington 45. Moore drops back to pass, pressured, and he's going to get sacked back at the 40. Yes, the Cats, and there is a flag and 2 late flags. And that was just not smart at all from Morris. Like, just not at all. You had 4 guys back there. The whistles had blown like 4 times, and they just kept going.
Now, what do I put down in the records here?
Well, Moore lost about 5 initially. There's no way the ball could be spotted back there, first off. It has to be moved way up to here somewhere. There's got to be ball moved up because of forward progress. Actually, I think the far side official has it marked at the 39. So that will be a loss of 6 yards officially for Billy Moore. Problem is, the Morris defense just kept going and going and going after the whistle, and they're going to give Wilmington a shot here. I don't know if it's going to be a first down or not. It's going to be close.
I'll give Moore a loss of 6 yards on the run.
So it depends on where this goes to, but it might give Wilmington a first down. And does it? I don't know.
Where'd that all come from?
So Billy Moore loses 6 yards and gets Wilmington a first down.
We could sure use it.
You'll take that when you can get it.
Yes. Well,
not very often that you lose 6 yards at a play and pick up a first down.
well, if Morris is smart, they'll learn from that the rest of the season.
Right, there was no need for it.
Right.
There just wasn't. 1st and 10 for the Cats from the 46 of Morris, working right to left here. Ketman off the left side. Not a whole lot of room there. Inside the 45 to the 44. As Ketman will pick up 2 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 8, and Couples will rotate back in here for Kchuk. Well, the Cats doing what Wilmington needed to do to start the 3rd quarter. You get some first downs, take a ton of time off the clock, keep this game where it is, and hopefully get some points at the end of the drive and use a truckload of time. So Wilmington has it 2nd and 8 from the Morris 44. Underneath Couples. Tried to hurdle somebody on the outside. There was just nothing there to begin with. And then instead of Couples cutting it back up the middle, he tried to hurdle over the players on the ground. That took any momentum away. And now it goes to 3rd and 10 after a loss of 2. Well, we saw what happened the last time Wilmington tried to pass. It got blown up in a hurry, lost 6 yards, but they did get a first down. So,
yeah. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Why not?
I still think Mr. Ketman would be my go-to. 3rd down and 10 from the Morris 46. Pitch comes left side. Ketman trying to get the edge. And not going to get a whole lot there, maybe a couple of yards. And I really don't know if it's worth punting it for Wilmington, but I guess they will. There's not really much you could do on 4th and 8, even though you're down to the Morris 44.
I don't know.
All right, so the Cats will get set to punt it away here. Again, Cooper Holman, 6'2", 200-pound junior, doing the punting duties so far this year for the Cats. And we have a timeout to Morris. Must have been
too many people on the field.
I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there might only been it might have been 10 out there. I'm not sure. In any case, Morris will use a timeout. 5:22 to go in the third. And Morris leads at 19-7. Back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
Well, there's a block in the back off the punt. So this is going to come all the way back inside the 10-yard line. Now, there is a clear block in the back inside the 10. So that'll come back, and Morris will be set up at around their own 5 by the time they mark this penalty off, I do believe. So good return for Morris, but it all goes by the wayside because of a block in the back. So Morris will start 1st and 10 deep in their own territory as they'll go, I think, mark it off from the 11, which would put half the distance to the goal. Or maybe they're just going to mark it at the 11. I'm not entirely sure what the game plan is here. I think they got to mark it off from there. Pretty sure. So they will mark it off back to the Morris 5. And that's where they'll start 1st and 10. So Cats with an opportunity here if they can get a stop. They have struggled to do that at times tonight. I think they'll move it out to, what is it, the 6 now?
Well,
it's somewhere down there.
Somewhere in that vicinity.
It's around the 6. Handoff up the middle and churning out a gain of 2 or 3 yards. Off the dive play is Mick Smith. So Smith will pick up 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Again, Morris into that hurry-up kind of offense. Handoff off that right side. That's stacked up after a gain of a couple. That's Curran on the carry. He'll pick up 2 more. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 5. And the Cats have another person down injured. They were already very, very thin tonight. And if that's Olin, well, it might just be a cramp. Early season stuff tends to
a lot
go
of
that
cramps
way.
in this time of year.
And the thing is, Zach Olin plays both ways. He's a captain on this Wilmington team. And let's hope it's just a cramp, because the Cats are already very thin across the board.
It's been a tough beginning for the Cats this year. 25 has not smiled on
The way
them.
they're working on it looks like it's a cramp. But we'll see. So 4:31 to go in this third quarter as Morris leads at 19-7. It will be 3rd down and 5 once this is all taken care of here. See if they still working on it.
I will say, Wilmington has done just about what you could expect them to do. They really hung in.
So Olin still getting worked on. Matter of fact, let's just take a quick break. We'll come back and kind of see where all this stands in just a moment.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
Well, Olin getting helped off the field. It looks like, I mean, he's limping a little bit, but I'm still of the mind that it's some sort of cramping more than it is anything else.
I think I would agree with you on that, too.
Well, now we have the Cats down another lineman. That would be 4. That's a lot of linemen. Then the pass to the far side, blown up. So Varner on the reception from Varner. Good coverage by Finn Bryant. That'll be a gain of 2 yards, and it'll bring up 4th down and 3. So Bryce Varner from Brady Varner. And the Cats looks like will force Morris to punt it away, but I've seen a lot of crazy things over the years.
Yeah, you never can.
And they will kick it here. Actually, a pretty good punt, too. Ketman at the 46 across midfield and down to the Morris 43-yard line. And that's where the Cats will have it 1st and 10. But now Wilmington is going really deep into the offensive line with Olin out. I don't even know
who's going to be out there.
Yeah, who's left at this point. So it looks like Sam Payne, 6'4", 320-pound senior, is going to get his opportunity right here and now. And boy, is that
this is when they need it.
That's a big shoes to fill with Mr. Olin, but
he's a big man.
Yes, that is very true. Although it looks like Zach Olin is back up moving around here on the sideline. So I think it's just like we thought, a cramping thing. So hopefully he'll be back in momentarily. Cats have it 1st and 10 from the Morris 43. Pitch goes right side. Couples. He'll get stacked up. And there is a fumble on the play, but it looks like Wilmington will get it back. Olin is going in, but only at maybe 50%. He's limping his way back in. Sam Payne will check out. Kchuk back in for Couples.
No gain on a play, makes it 2nd and 10.
The Cats are wounded tonight, but they've kept fighting. Second down and 10 from the Morris 43. Here's Ketman off the left side, cuts it back inside the 40, down near the 37-yard line. And a good run there on 2nd down. There is a very late flag. And Ketman is saying it's on Morris.
You Ketman about 5 yards?
Another personal foul. I mean, Morris tonight has just been undisciplined. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of surprised. They have had multiple personal fouls tonight and probably should have had one more. And just and at key times, too. Now, this one was a decent gain anyway, but I'm sure Mr. Thorson and that Morris coaching staff none too pleased with some of that tonight.
No, you want to build for the remainder of the season, and this isn't the way you want to do that.
And especially for a very disciplined Morris program. So 1st and 10 for the Cats from the 21. Moore drops back to pass, fires near side. It is caught inside the 15, down near the 12 as Kchuk on the reception before he's wrapped up. Wilmington throws a pass, and Billy Moore completes it to Kchuk. A gain of 9. It'll bring up 2nd and a yard for the Cats. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and Wilmington knocking on the door. Boy, who would have thought that was going to come out of that?
Wow. No. Got to caught us all by surprise there.
It worked. 2nd and a yard for the Cats. Billy Moore back up under center. Down to 5 seconds to go on the play clock. More handoff right side. Kchuk inside the 10. Kchuk scores! Touchdown Wilmington! Sophomore Hunter Kchuk with a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Cats have made it 19-13 pending the extra point. The Cats keep knocking on the door. So we said, you just got to keep it close. Keep it close.
Strange thing, the difference so far has been discipline.
So Oland over here on the sideline, getting worked on that right leg. Again, more than likely it is a cramp. The extra point is blocked, and it'll stay 19-13. Now, not a huge deal, but it definitely would have helped your cause with an extra point.
Yeah, because a touchdown by itself would have put them ahead.
All right, 1:28 to go in the third quarter, and Morris leads it 19-13. We're back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair.
Well, the Cats keep hanging around. 19-13 the lead now for Morris. This kick bobbled, still loose, picked up at the 25, out across the 30, 35, and out to the 37 goes the return by Anthony Smith. And Morris will have it 1st and 10. 1:25 to go in this third quarter. Flag, it is against Wilmington. I couldn't see what the call was. Was it a horse collar tackle?
I don't know, the way he went flying over like that.
And that would be a 15-yard penalty, which would put the ball into Wilmington territory. If that's indeed what it is. It is. That is what they call. So that's a big penalty against the Cats, because that's going to put the ball all the way into Wilmington territory, down to around the 48, 47. It'll be at the 48. 1st and 10 for Morris. 1:25 to go in the third. Boy, what a week one game this has been. Whew. So Varner out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Handoff goes up the middle. This is, I think, Curran again. And he'll pick up about 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5 for Morris. Down to 1:05 to go here in the third quarter. 2nd down and 5. And Varner going to keep it. Gets tripped up, but does pick up the first down. Down to the 35-yard line. Oh, look, the infamous sideline warning, which is the one that drives me insane. So there it is. Got to get that one out of the way. That'll be a gain of 8 yards and a first down off the run from Brady Varner. You know how much I love that call, right? Like that's like my personal pet peeve.
I don't care how many games you have, they've got to call it.
Every time. There's at least one in every game. And usually it's at a time that might have actually needed one, I don't know. But usually it's at a point that makes no difference at all. Handoff up the middle, and wow. Olin just laid the wood on Curran. Picked up maybe a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. Boy, Mr. Olin met him in the hole.
Wow. That was a stop right there.
Down to 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Morris actually doing Wilmington a favor by going up tempo as far as I'm concerned. But 2nd down and 9. Blitz, pass off the near side, incomplete. Ketman blitzed off the edge. Varner tried to swing a pass over here on the near sideline just around the line of scrimmage. That's no good, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for Morris from the Wilmington 34-yard line. Again, if the Cats can get out of here in this series without giving up points, they got a shot. 2 receivers to either side. Varner out of the shotgun with Curran to his right. From the Wilmington 34, Varner drops back. Hit as he throws. It is incomplete. Good coverage back there by Billy Moore.
Good pressure.
Brady Varner hit as he threw it.
Good pressure by the Cats that time.
And it'll bring up 4th down and 9. 2 seconds to go in the third quarter. Boy, is this a huge, huge 4th down. 4th down and 9 from the Wilmington 34. Varner out of the gun, trips receivers to the far side. Pressured again, fired, it's caught, and it's blown up at the 30-yard line. Ryan Ketman blows up Bryce Varner. Nothing doing. A gain of 4 yards, and Morris turns it over on downs.
Who caught it?
My goodness, Bryce Varner got rocked after he caught that, and the Cats have momentum. We'll head to the fourth quarter. Morris leads Wilmington 19-13. We're back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned.
So the Cats will get it back as we start quarter number 4. Wilmington with a shot here, down by 6. As we start the fourth quarter, the Cats defense gets a huge stop at a time when they desperately needed it. Wilmington will have it 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. So up under center is Billy Moore out of the double wing. And wow, that was not what the Cats needed. Ketman took off, and the opposite side in Kchuk also moved. And not the way you want to start the fourth quarter if you're the Cats, particularly tonight. Honestly, other than Morris with some after the whistle penalties and not keeping their head, this has been a very clean game, especially for week one. It feels like a playoff game.
It does feel like a playoff game. Everybody's involved in it.
It's been really clean, though. Like, there haven't been a lot of weird penalty, like a lot of false starts or crazy things. Now, there was one there for the Cats that was just a mistake. But so far tonight, it's been very clean for a first week. Handoff goes left side. On across the 25 to the 30. On the run by Ryan Ketman. And that'll be a gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Cats. Again, Wilmington in the business of using every single second off this clock that they can. You don't want to leave Morris any time if possible. So 2nd down and 10 for the Cats. They lost 5 on the first down penalty, then picked up 5 on the rush. Off the right side, there's a hole out across the 35 to the 37 goes Hunter Kchuk. And Hunter will pick up close to 8 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Cats. And I'm telling you right now, this is 4-down territory. I am not giving the ball back to Morris. You get a yard or even get no gain, this is go to the end.
You know, they brought in Kchuk, and he's answered the call.
Man, he has been
32
very
yards.
good. For a sophomore playing on a varsity game against Morris in week 1, really good. Kchuk off the right side, gets hit across the 40, still going, churns out to the 42, and Hunter Kchuk will pick up 5 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down. Wow, just guts.
He could have settled for being stopped for 3 yards or so. He kept digging.
So the Cats churning out yardage. 10-10 to go in the fourth quarter. Cats need a long drive here. Boy, what a week 1 matchup this is. Starting to think it'd be fun to have this every year at week 1.
Boy, I tell you, it's a battle.
So 1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 42 off the near side hash, working left to right. Off the right side, Kchuk, there's nothing there. Boy, that got bottled up pretty quick, although Hunter still manages to get 2 or 3 yards. Eric Ramos, 6 foot, 205-pound senior, met him in the hole. Still managed to get 3 yards, though. Boy, Hunter just, I want to talk about falling forward. He just gets yards. 2nd down and 7.
They hit him, but he refuses to go down in the initial hit.
So 2nd and 7 for the Cats from their own 45 off the near side hash. Working left to right. 9 minutes to go in the game. Out of the double wing, Moore under center. Hands it off left side, Ketman. Nope, they're waiting on that. As Ketman will pick up maybe a yard. And it will bring up 3rd down and 6. The Cats need yards here. You really need 3 or 4 to think about going for it on 4th down. By the way, Wendy Schnittiger saying the cheerleaders deserve a shout out tonight. Sound good online. So, Wendy, we appreciate you listening here tonight along with a bunch of other people. Boy, we couldn't do what we do without you guys listening and following along. We really appreciate it each and every year. And boy, do you guys have a good one to finish out tonight. Timeout to Wilmington. They'll face a 3rd and 6 with 8:10 to go from their own 46-yard line after this timeout. This is Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling along with all the extras like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk and Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk and Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, or Wilmington today.
All right, the Cats face 3rd down and 6 with 8:10 to go in the game from their own 46 off the near side hash, left to right. Ketman off the left side, trying to get the edge. Across the 45, breaks free. Ketman inside the 40, breaks another tackle. Inside the 30, Ketman all the way down to the 20-yard line. A gain of 34 yards and a Wildcat self-storage first down. My goodness. This game has been crazy for week 1.
What is going on?
1st and 10 for the Cats from the 22 of Morris. Now, Wilmington, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you don't want to score too quick. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but yes, right now scoring would be optimal no matter what. Underneath, Kchuk, big hole, inside the 15, breaks the tackle, inside the 10, Kchuk all the way down to the 7-yard line. And that is enough for a Wildcat self-storage first down. 1st and goal for the Cats from the Morris 7-yard line.
What happened?
So Kchuk picks up a good 15 yards, and the Cats have it 1st and goal from the 7. Again, everything spread out more so than packed in tonight. Off the right side, Kchuk again. He'll get down to the 6. And clock will continue to roll. Down to 7 minutes and counting here in this 4th quarter. The Cats going to use every bit of clock that they can. Part of the problem is when you get a first down from the 7, 8, 9-yard line, you have so far to go to get the ball in the end zone. No matter what, 4-down territory for the Cats. Ball at the 6-yard line of Morris, right in the middle of the field. Billy Moore will bring him back up to the line again. 6:30 and counting in the game. Again, those spread out tight ends. This is Ketman off the left side, inside the 5. Ketman down to the 4. And it'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line. .608 to go and counting. Billy Moore way over here on the sideline, waiting for Barry's play call. And I think really between Ketman and Kchuk tonight, you can go either way here. They've both been very effective in the second half. 3rd and goal from the 4. And we have offside on Morris. So the little stop motion from Wilmington catches Morris. The ball will go down to the 2-yard line. Well, that stop motion from the wingback, every now and then you get somebody. So 3rd down and goal from the 2 for the Cats. Wilmington knocking on the door again. Moore under center, out of the double wing. Ketman off the left side, pushes toward the end zone. Ryan Ketman is down at the goal line. 4th down and goal from inside the 1. I'm going to tell you right now, you know who I'm going to?
Ketman.
You better believe it. 4th and goal for the Cats from the 1 yard line.
You know what? I'd almost like to go with catch.
Actually, the ball is almost touching the goal line. That's how close it is. 4:30 and counting. 4th down and goal. Ketman lunges. Touchdown, Wilmington! Ketman in from 1 yard out. And the Cats have tied it at 19. Ketman was hit at the 3 yard line, was hit at the 2 yard line, was hit at the 1 yard line, and lunged into the end zone.
And guess what? We're just tied.
Woo! My goodness, what a game this has been. Unbelievable. Now the last go-round, Wilmington had their kick blocked. Evan Ostheim with a huge extra point here. And the kick is good! And the Cats lead it 20-19 with 4:21 to go in the game. My goodness. We are back with more Cats football after this on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles.
Well, here we go. 4:21 left. The Cats lead it 20-19 over Morris. Holy cow.
I don't believe it.
I don't care how this game ends. This has been amazing for week 1.
Anybody who came tonight got their money's worth.
It's unbelievable. You kind of have to be there, like, don't you got to do it again? Like, you had this, don't you have to do this no matter what next year now? Like, don't you really want to do this at Wilmington now? This has been phenomenal. Like I said, no matter what happens, phenomenal. Kick here is shorter. Taken at the 31. It is a fair catch. And now Morris will have it 1st and 10. Now, this Morris offense is high-powered, and they are used to running plays in a split second. So doing a 4-minute drive or a 2-minute drive is nothing new to Morris because that's what they do anyway.
They're exactly the opposite of Wilmington. They can get a whole bunch of plays off in 5 minutes.
Well, here we go. Let's see if this Cats defense can come up with another stop. What a night this has been. Holy smokes. 1st and 10 for Morris from their own 31, right in the middle of the field. Handoff, Curran up the middle. Gonna get a decent chunk of yards. Pick up about 5 on 1st down. That's plenty fine for Morris, too. I mean, they're gonna go up-tempo no matter what. 4 minutes is a truckload of time for this offense. Gain of 6, second down and 4. Curran again off the right side. He'll pick up 3 more. And it will bring up third down and a yard for Morris here.
Well, they're in a hurry-up offense, too. Look at that.
Interesting that hurry-up running the ball, which is kind of unusual. Curran again. He will pick up the first down, not by much, though. Gets about a yard and a half. As stop made on the play by Cooper Holman. It'll be, well, he won't pick it up. They move the ball back. Fourth down and a yard from the 40. And off the left side, it will be, I think, a first down for Morris, but not by much. Brady Varner keeps it, 3:13. And they will wind the clock here in just a moment. First and 10 for Morris. From their own 41-yard line. One receiver to either side. Brady Varner out of the shotgun. Handoff left side, and that's blown up. Kchuk, what a game that kid has had. He wraps up Curran after a gain of a yard, bring up second and 9.
He's a sophomore?
Sophomore, and that's unbelievable the way he has played tonight. Second and 9 for Morris from their own 43. Varner rolls right side, swing pass back over to Curran, and he will get knocked out of bounds across midfield down at the Wilmington 49. So a gain of 8 yards on the screen pass from Varner to Curran. 2:35 remaining. Third down and a yard for Morris from the Wilmington 49. One receiver to the far side, one back to the near. Varner hands it off, but we have a whistle. And Curran has to go out. Must have had, I don't know, some equipment issue or whatever. I don't know. Something happened. He had to go out for a play. And they will bring in Mick Smith, another experienced running back, to replace him. Smith and Curran were both staples of this Morris backfield last year. One receiver to either side. Varner out of the shotgun. Hand off to Mick Smith. He'll get enough for the first down. He'll pick up 2 yards. So 2:30 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Still a ton of time for this Morris offense. First and 10 from the Wilmington 47. Mick Smith, he rotates out. He's limping. So now Morris going 3 deep in the backfield with Keegan Jelsvik. Pass deep down the far sideline, incomplete. And a flag thrown. And I don't know about that one. I don't know. It's going to be pass interference, I think, on Wilmington, but
I think they could have been easily passed.
Offense.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Either way, I'm not so sure. That's why I said I don't know. I wasn't complaining about being defensive penalty, but I don't know either way if that's a penalty.
The defensive player had the position.
Well, the offensive pass interference, I think the Cats will decline it and make it second down and 10. Wow, that's a huge call. They are going to back him up. So second down and 25, but now Morris, don't get it twisted. They can pick up yardage in a hurry. Varner out of the shotgun, rolls right side, pressured from the backside, fires down the far sideline. It is caught inside the Wilmington 35, down near the 32. A gain of close to 40 yards. Couldn't see who was on that far side. It might have been Logan Conroy on that far. It's kind of hard to see way over there from this near side. So right at 40 yards, Morris will have it 1st and 10 from the Wilmington 27 with 2:07 to go.
We don't know who caught the ball?
I think it was Conroy, but to be quite honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. With all these guys all over the place, and then every time they keep throwing the ball to the farthest reaches of the stadium, nowhere near where our press box is, and it doesn't make it too easy. The Cats will use a timeout here. You know, we just said on 2nd and 25, Morris can pick up 30 or 40 yards in a
easily.
flash.
Yeah, easily.
That's not a problem. So now if you're the Cats, you have a couple of things working against you. One, if obviously Morris scores a touchdown, now you'll need to answer. But now Morris getting deep enough that a field goal also beats you. So the Cats trying to come up with something here that could stop this Morris drive. And it's like I said before any of this happened, no matter how this turns out tonight, what a game, and man, has Wilmington learned a lot about their team tonight.
It's one of the most exciting high school games we've seen.
The Cats answered the bell, down 2 scores, fought back. They have done everything in their power tonight. 1st and 10 for Morris from the 27. And pass down the middle of the field. That is knocked away, incomplete. Ketman got back there and hit it. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Boy, that was dangerous. So 2nd down and 10 from the Wilmington 27.
Well, they know they've got close enough for a field goal to try, so they've got that in their back pocket.
Hand off. Nope. Keeping it is Varner, and that's a problem. Varner is going to get inside the 5, down near the 2. And a gain of 25 yards for Brady Varner. And now Morris will have the ball 1st and goal from the 2. And if you're the Cats, you might want to consider burning a timeout here pretty soon, because Morris is going to run this entire clock off if they can. I would have been tempted to use one there.
Yeah, I think I would have been too, because they're probably for sure going to get the touchdown. So
we'll see. It's 1st and goal from just outside the 1, almost the 2.
I can't believe Wilmington's letting them run all the way off.
And we have penalty flag. That's from an odd spot, too. It is a false start on Morris. Well, now it gets interesting. You go 1st and goal from the 1 to 1st and goal from the 6.
That might be bad for Wilmington, too.
I heard somebody in the crowd mention Mantino. It's 15-year anniversary of the Miracle in Mantino. Remember that game?
I sure do.
T formation for Morris. Hand off to Kern, and we have, now what? I'm not sure what this is.
I don't know, but I hope we don't have the thing where the officials decide the game.
Did they not? I am super confused by what that just was. So there's no explanation. They just wind the clock again. That's super odd. So 1st and goal from the 6 for Morris. 1:08 and counting. Handoff up the middle. I think this is Smith, who gets stacked up after a gain of 1 or 2. So Smith will pick up 3. It's 2nd and goal from the 3. Out of the T formation again. Curran down to the 1 yard line. 33 seconds and counting. Third down and goal from the 1. And there's a flag down, and Morris, that had to have been a false start.
Yeah.
Morris ended up in the end zone, but that's got to be a false start. Whoever the running back was took a running start before the snap. That's almost certainly got to be a false start. And it is. False start on Morris. So now it goes from 3rd and goal from the 1 to 3rd and goal at the 6. Man, this game just gets crazier and crazier. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line for Morris. 22 seconds to go. The Cats lead at 20-19. Morris is in plenty close enough range to kick a field goal. But if you're Morris, you don't want to rely on that because we all know how sideways those can go in high school. And now a timeout to Morris. So they'll use a timeout. 22 seconds to go in the game. 3rd down and goal from the 6-yard line. By the way, be sure to join us for our post-game show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center over there in Braidwood, where they care beyond the repair. We'll talk to Coach Reitz, go over your final stat totals tonight, and have a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. Do all that on our post-game show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center in Braidwood, where they care beyond the repair. Well, if you're Wilmington here, best case scenario, you force Wilmington or force Morris to kick a field goal. You got to go there first and then come up with a plan to try to block the field goal. But you got to force them to kick it first.
Yeah, that's right.
Boy, this is almost better than the vast majority of playoff games we've done.
Oh, yeah.
This has been an all-time. 3rd down and goal from the 6 for Morris. 22 seconds to go in the game. Smith pitches it left side. This is going to go for a touchdown. So they pitched it back off the edge, and it was actually a direct snap to Mick Smith, who pitches it off the left side, and into the end zone goes Quade Phillips with 16 seconds left. Boy, what a play call that is. Draw that one up, huh?
Wade Phillips. Wait a minute.
Quade Phillips, number 23.
I don't have a 23.
Well, it's because he's probably not on there. He hasn't touched anything tonight. So Morris leads at 25-20, 16 seconds left. They'll go for 2 here. Curran's got it up the middle, and he will score and put Morris up 27-20 with 16 seconds left. So the Cats still got a shot here. They got to return the kick and then maybe 1 or 2 plays, and that'll be it. Boy, Wilmington fighting to the end. Morris leads it 27-20. Back with the final 16 seconds in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com.
All right, 27-20 is the lead for Morris, with 16 seconds to go. I don't know what the Cats got in the bag for 1 or 2 plays.
I think the bag was about empty.
I think little screen pass or something to Ketman, like to get him out in open territory and see if he can make something happen.
Yeah, something like that would probably be the best hope.
It's about the only thing you could really do. I mean, this offense obviously isn't built for anything crazy. So 30 out to the 34, and Wilmington will have 13 seconds. Now, Cats need, you got a couple of plays and a timeout left if you're Wilmington, but you do have to go 65 yards. So crazy things have happened tonight. You never know. It's been wild. So Wilmington will have it. 1st and 10. Actually, let's make it 66 yards since the ball's back at the 34. Well, here's Wilmington's pass formation. 2 receivers split out to the near side. And Moore under center. And Morris will use a timeout. So again, be sure to stick around for the postgame show. Brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Warren's over there in Braidwood, been a long-time sponsor of things here on the network and sponsoring the postgame show again. Final stats, full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. And we will talk to Coach Raints as well. Boy, what a game this turned out to be. I mean, the Cats came in a little shorthanded tonight. They fought and fought, got the lead late, and Morris scores with 16 seconds to go to get the lead back. But like I said, you have learned a lot about what this Wilmington team is going to be this year just by this game here tonight. And if you aren't encouraged, and if you don't look at this and go, this is going to be an amazing year, you need to come watch it and see it for yourself. All right, so the Cats still have time left. 2 receivers over to the near side. Billy Moore under center with 13 seconds left. Moore jots back to pass, fires near side, and it is incomplete. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 with 8 seconds left. The Cats at most with 2 plays left. They did try to go to Ketman there, by the way. Little quick pass off the right side. Might just straight up hand it off on a sweep or something. We'll see. Moore under center, 8 seconds left. 2 receivers over here to the right side. Handoff up the middle, and timeout called by the Cats with 3 seconds left. That's Schrager, as he will pick up 9 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. The Cats need to go 57 yards in 3 seconds. So the Wilmington Wildcats will use their last timeout here, see what they can come up with on the last gasp play. And Barry down there coming up with something. Let's see what it is. Boy, this might be one of the best week 1 games that's ever happened. Like I from top to bottom, the way this Wilmington team has fought back, Morris clearly with a high-powered offense has gotten points when they needed to get points. But the Cats have just kept showing up tonight. Repeatedly kept showing up. All right, so here we go. Last gasp for Wilmington. 3rd down and a yard from their own 43. 3 seconds left to go. The Cats need to get in the end zone somehow. Moore drops back, and he's going to be sacked, and that'll end it. Back at the 38, and that'll do it. As Morris will win it 27-20 over Wilmington here tonight. Be interesting to see this handshake line because some things tonight, but the Cats, my goodness, did they do everything that they could do tonight and kept coming back. And Morris wins it 27-20 over Wilmington. All right, welcome into the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond repair over there in Braidwood. Take a break, come back with the postgame show in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
So Morris wins it tonight, 27-20 over Wilmington, but in a game that for week one had everything that you could possibly imagine in it. Cats got down by a couple of scores, fought back. Morris gets a touchdown late, and they win it 27-20. So Wilmington just kept coming and didn't quite have enough tonight, but you learned a lot about this Wilmington Wildcats football team. And I'm telling you what, there could be some trouble brewing for some teams down the line with how the Cats played tonight against a team returning a bunch of starters, playing in a bigger class, had a playoff run last year, anticipated to have a deep playoff run this year, and Wilmington took them right down to the wire. And again, you learned a lot about who you are as a football team here tonight. So Morris wins at 27-20. Cats will drop to 0-1. But the good news from all of this is Wilmington has 6 home games this year. The road games super close as well. We had this trip to Morris. There'll be a road trip to Reed Custer, which is like 5 miles from Wilmington, and then Herscher, which maybe 15 miles. And that's it. Everything else at home for the Cats this year. So you'll have plenty of opportunities to come see this team, whether at home or on the road. Everywhere is accessible this year. And wow, what a game tonight. I might as well go ahead and get to our IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. As we'll start on the ice, El Paso Gridley beats Reed Custer tonight. 28-14 is the final. Piatone 48-7 over Granite City. Coal City, no problems with Pontiac. Kind of saw that one coming. 40-7 is the lead for Coal City in the fourth quarter. Mantino and Sandwich. Sandwich keeping that one close at least. 40-30 is the lead for Mantino in the fourth quarter. Herscher has come back on Canton. They were down 3 scores early, and Herscher leads that 28-24 with that game being in the third quarter. Streeter up 30-14 on Decatur Eisenhower. In 3A, we mentioned earlier, Byron 63-0 over Rock Falls. IC Catholic blowing out St. Mary's tonight, 33-0 in the third. Althoff Catholic 21-13 over Alton. That's in the third. Tolono Unity blows out Rantoul 48-0. That's a final. Newman Central Catholic 30-14 over Princeton in the fourth quarter. St. Joe Ogden 44-7 over Prairie Central. That's in the fourth quarter. Williamsville beats Auburn tonight 42-7. Richmond Burton 49-13. That's a final over Marion Central Catholic. And Monticello 14-6 over IVC. That game in the third quarter. In 2A, which more than likely is where Wilmington will end up this year, but we'll see how it all plays out. Maroa Forsyth 48-7 over Athens. That is a final. Clifton Central 20-0 over Bismarck Henning and all those other names. That game in the second quarter. Farmington 51-28 over Hamilton Warsaw in the third quarter. Rockridge 38-0 over Sherrard. That's still in the first half. Westville beats Salt Fork 54-13. Seneca blows out Chicago Christian 47-6. It's Pana 46-27 over Hillsborough. That game in the fourth. Couple more finals. Nashville 28-21 over Carlisle, and Johnston City 46-8 over Carmi-White County. Other finals tonight: Lincoln Way West 47-7 over Eisenhower. Also Bradley Bourbonnais, no problems with Thornton Fractional North 42-0. Let's see, other finals: St. Francis 38-34 over Kenwood. Lockport 34-0 over Plainfield North. Fenwick 40-13 over DePaul, and Evergreen Park 26-2 over Agricultural Science. Some other scores from around the area, big games going on. Lions 21-7 over Joliet Catholic. That game now at the half. Oswego East 41-0 over Joliet West. That's almost over. Nazareth 12-6 over Kankakee. Speaking of big matchups there. Lincoln Way Central 49-0 over St. Charles East. Lincoln Way East 20-0 over Maine South. That's interesting early on in the year. Loyola 10-7 over Maryville. St. Rita, another big game, 14-13 over Marist. That game at the half. Minooka 32-21 over St. Charles North. Let's see what else we've got here. Ottawa 14-0 over Plano. Plainfield Central trails Waukegan 6-0. Let's just scroll through here and see what else we've got. Crete-Monee down to Richards 31-27. That game at the half. And Glenbard West 21-7 over Batavia. That game now in the third quarter. Aurora Christian 29-22 over Marquette. I think that's most of them there. So again, one more look through the ice. El Paso Gridley beats Reed Custer 28-14. Coal City 40, Pontiac 7 in the fourth. Piatone 48-7 over Granite City. That's a final. Mantino 40, Sandwich 30 in the fourth quarter. Herscher 28-24 over Canton in the third. And Streeter 30-14 over Eisenhower. And we'll move on here. That was a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk and Rhodes. Now a final look at our stats from tonight. First off, for Morris, rushing the football, Brady Varner, 7 carries for 79 yards. Mick Smith, 6 carries for 5 yards. Caden Coran ended up with 24 carries for 112 yards tonight. Bryce Varner, 3 carries for, I think, 19. Keegan Jelsvich, 1 carry for 4 yards. That was a touchdown. And Quade Phillips ended up with that touchdown there at the end. And that's what I get for trying to flip around through a bunch of things here, as he gets a 6-yard touchdown run to end it. 42 attempts, 229 yards rushing for Morris tonight. Through the air, Brady Varner, 8 of 18 for 85 yards, a couple of touchdowns and an interception. Caden Coran, 2 receptions for 13 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Varner, 4 receptions for 21 yards and a touchdown. Brady Babington had one reception for 11 yards, and Conroy had a reception for 40 yards as well, and also a pick for Brady Varner. 313 yards of offense for Morris tonight, so 313 more or less. For Wilmington, Billy Moore, 2 rushing attempts for -7 yards. Ryan Ketman, 19 rushing attempts, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns tonight. Nate Couples, 7 rushes for 14 yards. Hunter Kchuk, boy, what a night for that kid. 8 rushing attempts, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Did a bunch on special teams and defense, too. Ryan Schrager ended up with 5 rushing attempts for 25 yards tonight. Wilmington, 41 rushing attempts, 217 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Billy Moore, 1 of 3 through the air. Hunter Kchuk with the 1 reception. The Cats end up with 226 yards of offense. So Morris outgains them 309 to 226. But, wow, what a night for Wilmington, learning,
That was a great game.
Thin on offense and defensive line because of a bunch of injuries. But no matter what tonight, it just kept coming back and kept clawing. And then before you know it, they have a lead. And, I mean, we knew 4 minutes left. Morris has that high-powered offense. You knew some things were going to happen. And they did. But even then, Wilmington made them work all the way to the last second.
They made life pretty miserable for them tonight. The guys fought out well. We'll see. You thought they might find that secret player one of these games. Well, that little sophomore came through. I'd say that's one of their discoveries tonight.
Yeah, that was something.
Kchuk.
So let's take another break. Coach Rink's still down there talking to newspaper and a bunch of other things, and he should be after that game tonight. We'll come back. We'll talk to Coach Rinks, and then we'll wrap everything up. This is the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair in Braidwood. 815-458-3300. Back with more of the postgame show in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Warren's Collision Center is now at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. They accept all insurance companies, and as always, customer service is their top priority. Contact Warren's Collision at 815-458-3300, stop by online at warrenscollision.com, or visit in person at 860 Easy Street in Braidwood. Warren's Collision Center is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Wildcat Self-Storage is a facility providing clean, convenient, and well-maintained storage units. They provide great customer service with competitive rates, and they also have online bookings and payments for your convenience. Wildcat Self-Storage is at 131 School Street in Wilmington, online at wildcatsst.com, and by phone at 815-768-0681. Wildcat Self-Storage is proud to be locally owned. Riverfront Lanes in Wilmington is the place for fun with family and friends. They have leagues and open bowling, along with all the extras, like bumpers for the kids and cosmic bowling. Riverfront Lanes is your party headquarters too. Whether it's a birthday, company outing, or fundraiser, they can take care of you. Visit riverfrontlanes.com for hours and more information, or stop by at 402 South Water Street in Wilmington. The attorneys and staff at Odekirk & Rhodes are here to help during your most stressful legal situations, including criminal cases, divorce, custody, personal injury, and more. Odekirk & Rhodes will be with you every step of the way with aggressive representation that results in positive outcomes. Call 815-306-4864, visit online at odekirklaw.com, or stop by any one of their locations in Joliet, Manteno, Morris, or Wilmington today. Spins and Needles on Davie Lane is your local sewing shop in the Wilmington area. They specialize in sewing machine repairs and cleaning. Spins and Needles also has sewing supplies, quilt fabrics, sewing notions, and custom wind spinners. Stop by Spins and Needles at 614 Davie Lane in Wilmington from 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday, and Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. Or call 815-592-1183 for Spins and Needles. The Wilmington Chamber of Commerce at wilmingtonilchamber.org represents Wilmington businesses in many ways, including Employee of the Month, job postings, a full directory, event listings, ribbon cuttings, and more. They are also proud to announce their office location at 616 Davie Lane in Wilmington. WilmingtonILChamber.org is the source for all things business related in Wilmington.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. Back in the postgame show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair over there in Braidwood. 815-458-3300. Morris beats Wilmington tonight 27-20. Boy, what a game this turned out to be. Week one, the Cats kept coming back. Morris and that high-powered offense just kept putting stats up. Although at the end of the night, you look at it and you go 300 yards. It seems like they racked up more than that. But yeah, they did. They put them together when it mattered. And, boy, that was a big pick in the first half, too, with Couples at the 1-yard line, which kind of saved some momentum for Wilmington. And then, you get Ketman's big 80-yard touchdown run, which until that point, the Cats had kind of struggled a little bit offensively. And all of a sudden, after that, the Cats started churning out more yardage. Kchuk got involved. He ended up with close to 50 yards rushing, did a lot defensively for Wilmington, was on special teams as well. And it's been a while since I remember a sophomore in week one being that much of a factor in a game. I mean, there's been sophomores that have played.
It's like he came out from nowhere. All at once, there he was in the middle of everything that was going on. And offensively and defensively, he was in the middle of plays.
Yeah. So the Cats now, they had this road game in Morris, which is the farthest road game that they'll have all year, which is insane. Like, just think about that. 9 weeks. This is the farthest road game. I mean, Hersher may,
that's not bad, Hersher.
No, Hersher is, 15 miles or something, if that. You got Reed Custer that's almost in Wilmington. And then 6 home games. And somehow Coal City back-to-back home games from last year and this year. So
that's crazy.
There's a lot. So you look down the line here, and the Cats, if they get healthy, and I think over the next 2 or 3 weeks, you'll get 1 or 2 of those guys back, at least if things are trending the way that they're supposed to be. And you go into that middle part of that schedule healthy, and you get on that run when you get Coal City later in the year, and then you get into that playoff run. Things are going to be really interesting down the stretch. It's just been one of those off seasons where you're like, okay, I think we know where things are a little bit, but tonight there was a lot of questions answered for sure. So we're joined here on the postgame show by the coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Reintz. And,
yeah, guess.
Coach, that was, man, for week one, it felt like we were deep in the playoffs somewhere, and every single time that Morris had something, your kids figured out a way to get a turnover, figured out a way to get in the end zone, get first downs. Sophomore stepping out. Like, it was just, you just got a lot of answers about toughness for your team tonight, for sure.
I'm digesting this a little bit. But so, I was just telling some people down in the field that, been in some great games. We've won some really big games, and we've lost some tough games like tonight. And boy, am I proud of the kids as they walked off the field tonight. And our kids are hurting, but they also know that we can build on this. We're down. We talked about it the other night. We're down some starters to injuries. And we could have easily held our head down and come in here and lay an egg, and we did. We fought, and it's a very proud moment for our football program tonight, even in a loss. Even in a loss, to come over here to Morris and to play at their place and and see where we're at. But hey, that's a heck of a football game for game one. We can't tell you what, if the other 8 are like this during the regular season, this is I can tell you retirement is done. I'm in. So I'm just trying to sort this out in my head. A lot of big plays. The obvious one, our boy, Mr. Ketman. He was unbelievable tonight, and I thought our offensive line played well, especially being down our kids. Defensively, I think you had 2 teams with different philosophies, right? We hold the ball as much as we can,
right?
And that was as fast a play in between plays. I mean, they were running plays at us, and it took us a quarter just to get used to what they were doing play-wise and stuff. And so we had a lot of kids going both ways too, and so we kept hammering away at that. But hats off to Morris. They got us at the end. Nice play in the reverse. I thought we had a kid that was there to get it. He just tripped over somebody's foot. I'm not saying he would have made the play or not, but if it came down to that play, with us 2 programs going at it, we'll see how the season ends up for both of us. Hopefully we both can build off of this. But for us, as tough as it is, you gotta, we're going to turn around and talk about Sandwich tomorrow. We got to put this one behind us, and we're going to point out the great efforts of kids. And by the way, our fans were phenomenal tonight.
It was amazing.
They were back and forth with the Morris fans. That's why we do it. This is why you do the radio. This is why I coach. You put yourself in these atmospheres like this, and you just see, and you see the kids. Just put it all out on the line for each other, and that's sports, guys. That's what we do.
The fun part about tonight for me was seeing different pieces that might not have been there if it wasn't for some injuries or some things happening, and just seeing how all of that started to come together as the game went further along. Some of those kids got more and more and more confidence, and even line-wise, just some of the blocks and some of the drive, it seemed like it just started to get better and better and better as it went.
Yeah, it really did. I think our kids did get confidence. There's no doubt about it. After Ketman's long run, it was game on. I mean, I could feel it in our kids that, hey, we're here to play. We can play. Because I think there was a little bit of that going into the game. There's 5A semifinalists last year and everything. So the kids are going to have a little bit of a question. I think after Ketman's long run, our kids at that moment said, you know what, we can play today. And we can beat these guys, and sure enough, we just about did.
The crazy one for me, too, was the run that Ketman had inside the 1 or whatever, where he got hit at the 3, then got hit at the 2, and then ends up in the end zone. And
then I tell you what, 100 Kchuk, our sophomore, he made some tough runs. They might have been 4 or 5 yards, but they were some tough runs. And we got to build on that. We can't let it go. We got to learn our lessons, the good lessons and the bad lessons tonight. But I know everybody involved with Wildcat football tonight. It's a tough loss, but boy, we proud. We are proud of the way we played tonight.
Well, the really awesome thing is that the amount of home games you have this year and the away games, the way they fall.
Right.
Like this crowd that was here tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can carry that through those next 7 or 8 games with games as close as they are. I mean, that was something. Just atmosphere-wise was crazy tonight.
It was, it was special. It would be something that all the coaches, all of us won't forget. You always remember when we went to Morris and opened up over there in 25 and what a game that was. But the athletic part of the competitive part of us always, we did lose.
Yep.
And there's things we can improve on. There's things we're just getting started. I always talk to you about this. You never know quite going into game one where you're at. And, boy, we took a great step tonight. But can we continue to build on that? Can we get some kids back from injuries? And lo and behold, the football season started, guys, and we're gonna see what we can do this year.
All right, Coach. We'll go back to it next week. We'll talk to you in the pregame, and we'll kick off the home part of the schedule next week.
That's right. We will. Yeah, right. And we'll be happy to be at home. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So Coach Raines joining us here on the Postgame Show, brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair at 815-458 3,300. Morris wins it tonight, 27-20 over Wilmington. We'll wrap things up. We're back with you next week at home, Wilmington and Sandwich, right? Yes. My brain just went on pause. Wilmington and Sandwich next week, roughly 6:45 or so here on the network. Thanks for joining us. Thank you to everybody at Morris as well for allowing us this space to get everything done. And we'll re-rack